So TDX has the power-up system which allows you to destroy literally everything. There are total of 9 power-ups in the game, which I think we will see more of them in the near future. Starting from airdrops, A10 strike and literally a nuclear bomb. In this video we are going to rank all of the 9 power-ups in the game and I will tell you guys my own opinions on them. Subscribe and thumbs up for more content like this. But anyways, let's start the video. All of the power-ups in the game are only for one use. After you use one of them, it's gone from your inventory. There is also no limit of power-ups. You can buy as many as you want and use them in the game. The best thing is actually that you can use every power-up at whatever time you want. Even on the wave 0, you can use a power-up and that makes everything so much easier. And you may think they cost you gold. Yeah, they do cost gold, but you can get them for free after winning a match. Especially the endless mode is the best mode to grind power-ups. You can get so many power-ups from just a single match of endless. Let's start the video with the first power-up. So here is the cash airdrop, which basically calls a helicopter and it drops an airdrop. As you can know from its name, it gives you 1.5k cash. You can use as many as them you want and there is no limit. It's really overpowered. By just using one of them you can get so many farms in the early game. That's a huge boost for farming. This will make the whole game very easy for you if you know how to farm correctly. You can literally place a golden juggernaut by using 5 cash airdrops. It's literally overpowered, man, I am not going to lie. I am going to rank it as an A tier. Next we have the health airdrop, which is the same as cash airdrop, but this time you get 1k base health per crate. That is again pretty helpful in the early game and mid game. However, in the late game it really sucks because every single enemy in the game has more than 1k health. But I recommend this power up. It can be really helpful in dangerous times. But it's not as good as the cash airdrop, so I am gonna rank it as a B tier. Next up, here is the healing pad, which heals your towers in this large area as you can see. However, it is only for 15 seconds. So that's why I recommend using it in the final wave. It can be really useful in the endless mode because of the bosses. Literally the Eradicator MK1C can kill your towers very easily. So that's why I am gonna have to rank it as a solid B tier. Next up there is the Regen drone. It's a drone which reveals all of the stat enemies for 3 minutes. It doesn't have that much of an use, but it's very cheap to get. It becomes useful when you don't have any tower which has stat addiction. But most of the towers in the game have the stat addiction. So I am gonna rank this as a solid C tier. It could be so much better, but it only reveals stat enemies, so it doesn't have that much of an use in the game. Next up, here is the airstrike, which is one of my favorite power-ups in the game. It summons a F-22 Raptor and yeah, it bombs the area you pick. It does literally 3k damage. That's a really huge amount of damage for the early game and mid game. But in the late game, it will just struggle. Still, it's very cheap and quick. You can use it back to back and that will make it a lot better. I am gonna rank this as a solid A tier because it can clutch up very dangerous times. Next up we have the A10 strike. It summons 2 A10 thunderbolts and they damage everywhere. 2 of them can deal 66k damage to a single enemy. But because of their splash radius it can be so much better. But I would say don't use it for bosses. It doesn't deal that much damage to a single enemy. I really like the A10 and also the power up is very useful. I am gonna have to rank it as a solid S tier. It's very useful, especially in the wave 80 of endless mode. Can you see how many enemies there are, man? A10 is a great counter against them. Next up, there is the AC-130. It is the C-130 but with powerful weapons. I love the AC-130, man. It's very cool. It's definitely very powerful. It has many weapons, 2 Gatling guns and 1 explosive cannon. You can use this power up for literally everything. They are kinda good for bosses too. They really deal so much DPS overall. The explosive cannon deals 2000 DPS. That's really huge amount of damage. Also, it's very strong because it doesn't just go away. It stands for 45 seconds and it keeps dealing damage. I really like it, so I am gonna rank it as an S tier. Next up, here is the Raptor Storm. It's like the airstrike, but this time it summons many F-22 Raptors and they are so quick that you can't even see them. This is the second best power up in my opinion. They are very strong like the A10 power up, but the Raptor Storm is way better than the A10 strike in my opinion. They can deal up to 150k damage to a single enemy. Basically, They are able to kill a eradicator without any help. That's just fantastic, man. They also look very cool in my opinion. You can use them back to back and that's really nice. However, the power up is hard to get and it's also very expensive. But still, that changes nothing. I am gonna have to rank it as a solid S tier for sure. I really like the F-22 Raptors, man. For the last, but not the least, there is the nuclear bomb. Yeah, this thing is the best power up in the game. I mean the entire game. It has special sound effects. They were voiced by John himself and this just looks incredible, man. Literally it looks so amazing. It deals 4 million damage to a very large area. 4 million damage can literally kill nearly everything in the game. You really need to use the nuke in the endless mode, but other than the endless mode I don't really recommend using it because it's very expensive. It's 50k gold in the shop and you are actually able to get it in endless mode, but the chances are very low. However, it's very useful and powerful. If you have a good luck, you can go and play the endless mode. It's very hard, man, trust me. The Raptor Storm can actually be better than the nuke if you use as many as them possible. But still, that will be very expensive to do. I am gonna have to rank this power up as a solid S+ tier. It is literally the next level. And I should say that there are a few maps which doesn't have any airspace, so you can't use the power ups in the maps like that. There is only one map which is like that at the moment, and it's the assembly line. You are not able to use any air type power up in this map. That's actually very great and realistic. It would be so weird otherwise. Also, the same thing applies to the impossible rated maps. You can't use any power up in those maps. That was made so the impossible maps can be a bit harder than usual. That's all of the power ups in the game so far. Tell me which power up is your favorite in the comments. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about my tier list. Have a good day or night and see ya.